when the bids came out, she got the trip and I didn't. So I was like, oh my God. So I was flipping out. Who is that? Hello? And just like that, I'm back in New York City. Oh my God, guys. The way I had to move mountains to get this trip was insane. Whew. But let me tell you, first of all, I'm really excited about this trip because I get to go to Trinidad, which I've never been to, and I'm also working with my girl Annie. Yes! And welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and I am a flight attendant and I'm reporting live to you from JFK. I just had 3 weeks off, so this is my first trip back, and this was probably the best way to start it, but I have such a story. I gotta fill you guys in on everything. Waiting for Annie to to get here. She just got here. There she is. I've been bragging. Hi.
Walking the longest jet bridge in history.
Hi.
And I'm ready for the night.
Wait, guys. The way I had to move mountains to get on this trip to work with this girl.
No, I owe her my life.
Was insane, and I'm gonna fill you guys in when I get to Trinidad. How many bags did you pack?
Well, it has really nothing in it. It has 18 outfits.
And he packed for a week just in case we get stuck in Trinidad.
For one night.
But we actually only have 24 hours there.
If that.
I love it.
And I'm stuck here.
You really are stuck, girl.
I can't.
Guys, so we don't get to work in the same galley together. She's the number 4. She's all the way in the back, and I'm the number 1.
I'll be in the front.
And I'm the number 1, so we're gonna be separated. First of all, if you know me, this is such a late report for me. It is currently 8 p.m. I'm an early bird, okay? I'm an early bird. This is so late for me. And yeah, so this is completely out of my schedule right now. But I have very good excuse to be here for 8 p.m. One of them is that I get to fly with my girl Annie. And the second one is I get to fly somewhere I've never been to before. So those two are really good excuses to change my sleeping schedule. I'm gonna get into details about what happened with buddy bidding and bidding this trip and what that's about. I never bid the number 1, but I am the number 1 today. If these announcements come out in Russian today, we'll know why, right, Annie?
Yeah, I'm like, I have no idea.
I said if these announcements come out in Russian today, we'll know why, because I'm never the number 1.
And you've been up since 4 a.m.
Oh my God, and I've been up from 4 a.m. in the morning. I forgot to give you that small detail. So I'll be up for 24 hours by the time we get to Trinidad. So hopefully tomorrow, Annie, when Annie can come knocking at my door early in the morning. You hear that? I need a wake-up call early in the morning, Annie.
Okay, you got it.
She's paying me no mind. We have a little downtime. We got to the airplane early, and yeah, we have a little downtime, and we're just waiting. We're just waiting to board. Also, we only have like 100 people going down to Trinidad, so half the plane is gonna be empty. So we're gonna have even more downtime. It's gonna be like 4.5 hours. We're gonna keep each other company because
we'll do cartwheels if we have to.
Because we gotta stay awake, so we'll keep each other company. That's it. Let's board and let's get to Trinidad. Good morning, all the way from Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. Send help, guys. I don't want to get up. It's currently 9 a.m. I went to bed at like 4 a.m. But when I say I was up for 24 hours, yeah, I thought I was going to vlog when I got to the hotel. No. I was dead to the world. I was even falling asleep in the van. I think I was the only one sleeping, but I slept in the car ride. I don't even know how long it was. Maybe 40-minute car ride? I could have been kidnapped in Trinidad and I wouldn't have known. I was so tired. So tired. Because, you know, I had the 3 weeks off. And then when I got back to the States, I had some family days. We had like my niece's birthday. I was just going nonstop, so I never had like a full day to recover. And even the morning of yesterday, I drove from upstate like 3 hours. So I woke up at 4 a.m. I drove 3 hours, got home, did a whole bunch of errands, had to unpack, pack, do all of that. And then, yeah, and then go to work at 8 p.m. So yeah, now I'm here in Trinidad. It's a little cloudy out there. We were gonna have a beach day, but I see the sun is peeking out. And yeah, the humidity is real, but I kind of want to throw a couple waves into my hair. And I need to be downstairs for breakfast. All right, I'm getting out of bed because the way that I feel right now, I could literally stay in there for 12 hours and just sleep through Trinidad. And those clouds are not really inspiring me to get out there either. Oh, these waves are insane. No snorkeling. Oh, I feel like it's getting stronger. We're gonna die. Come save us in Trinidad. Annie! Oh, this girl is crazy. Oh my God! We can't lose a flight attendant. We have to go home tonight. We have a visitor. How cute are you? Do you want to go to New York City?
Yes.
Oh, we're feeding the dogs over here. Wow, guys, today was such a great day. I am definitely doing this layover again. 24 hours in Trinidad is phenomenal. But before we get into my day and how amazing it was, I have a little time before I head out the door because we're going to head back to New York. I felt like today was just, first of all, I didn't get enough sleep. That video that I recorded when I got out of bed, I ran to breakfast, ran to get pool towels, and then rushed to get ready in like 5 minutes, and then we went to the beach. So yeah, I pretty much didn't even have any time to check out the gym. And then by the time I got back, we spent a little time at the pool and whatever. And then afterwards, I came back and I slept like for 4 hours because we have a red eye going back. So it's currently like 2 a.m. in the morning and we're going to be heading back to New York. But I'm definitely doing this layover again, okay? I'm coming back for you, Trinidad. Before I get into a little details about my day today, I want to quickly elaborate the purpose of this video. The whole purpose of this video was to explain buddy bidding and how it works and how I even ended up on this trip and how a buddy bidding can go wrong. So as a flight attendant, seniority is everything, okay? The more senior you are, the better trips you get, the better days off you get. You can hold holidays, you can hold weekends. The more seniority you have, you could literally pick whatever trip you want. And you know, some trips are definitely better than others. You know, some trips have longer layovers, you do less flights. So yeah, seniority plays a big part in a flight attendant's life. Also, I'm gonna make this green shake for this morning before I head out the door. You can buddy bid with your friends. So pretty much it works out really well if you have the same seniority, or at least approximately in the same seniority, because you could pretty much request the same trips. Now, if your seniority, let's say for instance, is 10 years apart, so let's say I just started and I'm a year in and my best friend is 10 years in, it's gonna be really hard for us to buddy bid unless the senior person wants to do all the crappier trips, because you know, if you just start, you can't hold the senior trips. That's pretty much how me and Annie, we end up buddy bidding a lot because our seniority is very similar. We're only 2 weeks apart in seniority, so Annie's class, she graduated 2 weeks before me, and then yeah, I was pretty much 2 weeks after her. So I think we only have like a couple of people in between us. So when it comes to buddy bidding, it's a lot easier because we can hold the same trips. We're both like 11 years in. I'm spilling. This is such a tiny little cup, so it doesn't hold much of the water. So with that being said, we have pretty much, good morning, we're pretty much the same seniority. Annie doesn't really do layovers. She does mostly churns, so she flies out and then comes right back by the end of the night. But if we buddy bid, we try to do like layovers together. It's just like a free vacation, so it's fun. You get to hang out with your friend, you get to catch up, you know, you're in a beautiful destination. A lot of the times we try to do something we've never done before. Yeah, so we end up buddy bidding a lot. So going back to this trip, that's the whole purpose. So going back to this trip, we buddy bid the month before, and we were like, you know what, let's look at the trips that we have, and we both picked Trinidad because we're like, we've never been to Port of Spain. You know, she's never been here, I've never been here. The only time I've actually been here is when I worked a turn. So I worked this red-eye turn just to get the hours. So I flew from JFK to Port of Spain, which is 5 hours, and then I flew back. And I did this overnight and I almost died. I was like, oh my God. It was so much work because I had to stay up throughout the whole night and I was so tired. I got back in the morning, and yeah, red eyes are just, they're exhausting. Some people love them, but they're not for me. So we both saw this trip and we're like, let's buddy bid. So we buddy bid, and normally for 11 years, when we buddy bid, we usually end up just getting the trip because our seniority kind of holds the same trips. But when the bids came out, she got the trip and I didn't. So I was like, oh my God. So I was flipping out, okay? She ended up getting the trip. So there's 4 positions on this trip because it's on a 321, so it holds 4 positions. So she got the number 4, which I always bid for the number 4. But when me and her work together, she gets the 4 because she's more senior. And I bid for the 3. So I was like, oh my God, what's going on? Why didn't I get the trip? So they gave it to somebody more junior than me. She was 3 years in. So I was like, something's going on. So I had to fill out a form and everything and contact crew scheduling and just ask them like, what's going on? Why didn't I get this trip? They sent me a response back and they said the way that I bid, okay, flight attendants bid is so insane. Like you do one little thing wrong and you end up somewhere else and end up with the wrong days off. So the way that I bid, they said like I bid a lot of days off, which I needed because, you know, I was off for 3 weeks because I went to the Virgin Voyages cruise. So anyway, I bid 3 weeks off, and then like they said like the chunk of times that I needed off, and plus like I bid on my weekends off and stuff. And I also bid max hours. So when I bid the max hours, you know, it canceled out me getting the trip. I was flipping out. I was like, Annie's gonna go to Trinidad without me. Long story short, when the bids came out, I ended up checking to see who the crew was. So I ended up emailing and sending swaps to all the positions. So like the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3, just letting them know like, hey, if you're thinking about dropping this trip or if you want to swap, this is what I have. So I had a 2-day San Francisco trip and a churn. So I was pretty much like offering it to them. And I was like, do you want to swap? And I send them the swap and I send an email. Just like, because the thing about flight attendants is, yeah, you may get a trip, but it doesn't necessarily mean you want to keep it. So flight attendants do a lot of swapping, dropping, you like literally up to last minute. So even the person that kept this trip, like the number 3, up until the day of, they ended up dropping it like a few hours before the trip because they either I don't think they swapped into something else. They posted it. So they ended up dropping it. And then we had a reserve work the position 3. But it's just like crazy because nothing is set in stone on flight attendant life. So your schedule may change. You may not even want to work the trip anymore. You may find a different trip that you want to work, or you may just want to be off. So I ended up like pushing my luck, and I was like, hey, if you're thinking about dropping the trip, let me know. So we were waiting and waiting. The number 1 wanted the trips that I had, so we ended up swapping, but it conflicted with her timing. So it didn't work out, guys. Like the amount of back and forth that I had to go through to get this trip was insane. And at one point we gave up. I was like, Annie, it's not working out because the number 1, she wanted the trips that I had, but it just wasn't working out with her schedule. So everything has to do with timing. So I'm like, oh my gosh, Annie, you're just gonna have to go to Trinidad without me. It is what it is. We're gonna have to buddy bid for the next month. And that's what ended up happening. But after all of that happened, the number 1 emailed me on July 4th. It was on July 4th because I was like out on a barbecue, and it was like a late email, so I didn't see it. And she was like, I'm thinking about dropping the trip. Do you still want it? I was like, hell yeah. Give me the trip, girl. Give me the trip. I emailed her back right away, and I was like, I want the trip. She was like, okay, get rid of what you have. So I ended up getting rid of the trips that I had. I posted it. Somebody took it right away. And then I accepted the trip. So here I am in Trinidad. Cheers to that. So as a flight attendant, you have to be very strategic with how you bid. And if you're buddy bidding, you have to be specific. Like, you have to be specific of the days that you want to work the trip. You have to be specific with the pairing numbers. So pairing numbers are pretty much like the numbers of each of the trip that you're bidding for. And then you have to be specific with putting in the ID number of the person that you want to work with. Like, everything has to align. If it doesn't, you're going to end up like me. Buddy bidding gone wrong. When you buddy bid, but then you end up not working the trip together. But it was crazy because I really wanted to get on this trip, not only because I've never been here, but also I felt bad for Annie, because Annie doesn't work like layovers like that. Like, she does them once in blue moon. And so I was like, this poor girl is bidding to do a layover with me just so we can, you know, do this trip together. And then she ends up getting the trip and I don't. Anyways, there was no way I was gonna get all of this out on the plane because I only have usually like 5 minutes before boarding. So I'm glad I was able to elaborate buddy bidding for you guys. I'm gonna finish getting ready. I'm so glad that everything worked out because we had the most amazing day. I didn't even do a room tour. That's the room. There's a cute little balcony. The pool is really nice here. What else? Let me tell you, my favorite part about this hotel layover is the breakfast. This breakfast was so good. Thank God we even made it. Breakfast, I think, is over at 10. I don't know. But we made it to breakfast because by the time we were there, I could already see them gathering things up. And I was like, oh, yeah, I would have been so mad if I kept sleeping and not make it to breakfast. But yeah, we made it to breakfast. That was the best part. And then afterwards, we got a driver and they took us to the beach. We went to Maracas Beach, which is like a 45-minute drive. And let me check what time it is because I'm gonna be yapping away and imagine I miss my report time. My van time is at 2:55. It's like 2:35. Yeah, so I gotta make it quick a little bit because then I gotta go down. It's a little bit of a walk. And the beach was so beautiful. I'm gonna take a moment to think about that. And soak it all in. I felt like I was in Thailand. Okay, that's how I felt. And then we ate some good food. I forgot what we tried. It was like these dumplings and you dip them in the sauce. And oh, that's what it was. Pylori? Yeah, I might be saying it wrong. But pyloris, that's what we tried. Pyloris. So yeah, I wasn't a fan of the sauce because it was like sweet and I'm more of like a spicy kind of person. And then we came back, we hung out at the pool a little bit, and then I got to my room and I went to bed. So then I took the best nap ever, and by nap I slept for like 5 hours. That's a nap for me because I sleep like 8 to 12 hours, but it was perfect. So I'm gonna end up getting ready, and I feel like I could take on this red eye. I feel like I could. 5 hours of sleep, And I'm working with Annie, so it's a lot more fun because I'll be able to like talk to her the whole night and have her keep me entertained. So the thing about this trip, because she's the number 4 and I'm the number 1, so we're in 2 different galleys. Usually when we bid together, we end up bidding the 2 positions in the back just so we could be hanging out together more often. But since I'm the number 1, I'll be in the front this time. Yeah, we were so ridiculous yesterday. I was telling her, I sent her a gif after and I was like, this is how I felt. Who is that? Hello? Annie! Annie, you're so sweet, thank you. I was like, what? Who is calling me? I'm over here blabbering around. I'm vlogging, and I was like, oh! I'm up. I know. What time are you getting out of your room? 45. Okay, sounds good. So I'll see you in like 5 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. Okay, I'll see you. Okay, bye, babe. Thank you. Aw, see? This is why I love buddy bidding. See, my girl's checking up to see if I'm up. Before we went to sleep, we both told each other, if you don't hear from me by 2:30 in the morning, come and knock at my door. That was so sweet of her. And she pretty much was like, you didn't answer my messages, so I didn't know if you were sleeping or if you were up. But wait, she texted me? I don't think I saw it. Oh, I didn't even get her messages. Weird. First of all, I didn't even notice there was a phone in the bathroom. Can we talk about that for a second? I was like, what the hell? Wait, do I have a phone out there as well? Oh yeah, I do. But how did she call? Weird. Maybe both phones ring at the same time. Anyway, I'm gonna throw this uniform on and head out the door. Yeah, before Annie comes knocking on my door and she's gonna be like, where are you, girl? And just like that, I'm back in New York City. But I definitely learned through my mistakes how to buddy bid correctly. It only took me 11 years to get it together. And I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm going to be very specific in my bid so that when I buddy bid with my girls, we don't end up in this kind of predicament and I won't have to jump through obstacles and we could just end up on a trip together easy peasy once the bid comes out. I'm so tired. I'm going to sign off. Thanks for watching my video. And that's it. Good night. I'm leaving.